A few years ago, the SEC established certain specialized units to focus on certain industries or practices that were important to the enforcement division. One area that they didn't set up a unit on at that point was financial fraud. And as a result, the SEC, I think, has taken some heat for the fewer amount of financial fraud reporting actions they've done. In response to that, the SEC has announced they're dedicating additional resources to that area. They've set up a financial fraud and audit task force, and the purpose of that unit is basically to go and look for financial fraud, to try to be proactive, to take tools such as analytical tools, looking at computer models, looking at all the filings of restatements. I think more of a structured approach to looking at typical risk areas that they might use to open a case. They're going to be looking at whistleblower tips as they come in a very detailed way, and they've indicated that they're going to get tough on whatever they see. In order to mitigate the risks of government enforcement looking at them, a company should take a proactive approach in terms of their own compliance programs. The best answer to the government when they come knocking as to whether or not you have a problem is to say, I know I don't have a problem because I've already looked at it. I think one of the first things a company needs to do in order to develop a good culture of compliance is to do a risk assessment, to understand what business their company is in, where they are geographically operating, and to look at the risks associated with that. You need to develop strong policies and procedures that people can follow, and you need to let people know that you're going to be looking to see whether or not they are following those policies and procedures and the controls around them. You need to have that communicated to the people in the middle who are going to be your supervisors and enforcing it, and then also to get buy-in from the people who are first looking at transactions, because oftentimes they're the ones who could actually prevent any type of fraud from occurring. In this environment, it's important that companies take an assessment of their risks, make sure they're dedicating the appropriate amount and type of resources to those risks in order to be able to see into the future to try to prevent problems from happening, or when something does happen, they know how to appropriately address it on a very timely basis, which is something that the government will be looking for.